Hey guys, this is John Wires. I'm here with episode 22 of the MAREI podcast. Today, I am here with Justin Kristen, uh, and he is with Homebase, and he's the lead software developer there. He's been there a while. I've known Justin for a few years. Definitely a smart guy. He's got a lot of stuff going on in real estate. Justin, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Go ahead and introduce people about Homebase, since it's a lot of us don't hear too much about introducing technology and investment real estate today, especially from the asset and access management side.
Yeah, for sure. So Homebase, we are first and foremost an access control company. So the main locks on the entry doors for large buildings, we primarily focused on buildings like 50 plus units, but focusing on the access control for front door entry all the way to the unit locks. So that's our bread and butter and our base system. But then on top of that, we also incorporate different IoT devices throughout the properties, which includes smart lights, smart thermostats, and all the way up to a full digital transformation of like resident Wi-Fi systems. So you can have community Wi-Fi and then individual personalized Wi-Fi that we do through a Wi-Fi network for the building, which also opens up another additional revenue generation opportunity for property owners and immediate internet access for residents when they move in. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what Homebase does. We are the complete end-to-end provider for that. So we also provide full support on those devices as well. So it provides a lot of relief to the property management. So you're probably spending less on property management with the Homebase system, and your residents have a much better experience. Just a really cool, smart apartment experience. So.
Yeah. That sounds like definitely a lot of technology you can introduce into properties. Like you mentioned before, this is for larger portfolios. Sounds like 50 plus investment groups. You mentioned syndication groups taking down these large properties to generate revenue and add value to the bottom line, even at sales time. So that's an interesting concept. So this isn't management software necessarily. It's everything on top of that, that involved, like you said, access and internet and smart home type technology. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. We also do payments. So for Wi-Fi payments and stuff like that, you can do that. You can also do rent collection as well. But we found our primary customers have the larger systems like Yardi and Resman and Folio that really take care of those rent payment systems. So we decided to focus on the smart tech and access control, which is really one of the largest challenges right now in multifamilies, making sure people can get in and out of the building, and how do we innovate off of that. So
interesting. So if someone were to come to you and think about integrating the system, you guys source your own hardware and integrate it with your software. Is that right?
Yes, we have a long list of partners that we work with. We don't actually build our own devices. It's just a huge money sink that we don't want to get into. And
sure, that's
a lot of other companies do it way better than we ever could.
Right. Yeah.
So we're currently partnered with Schlage, which is a 100+ year lock provider. They know what they're doing on access control for locks. And so that's why we've partnered with them. So we use that for unit locks, also many space stores. And then we have for access control, so outdoor access, things like that, we operate with the Brevo access control system. And these are very standard enterprise level access providers. And then we integrate with Liviton and LG for smart appliances. So we're an official partner of LG. And then What else? Then we also do smart lights, which through the LifeX system. So, and then thermostats, we do Honeywell and Ecobee thermostats. So there's a lot of different systems at play, but the goal here is through Homebase, your residents and you as well as a property owner, property manager, have all of these devices and can be controlled through one singular system. So it's easy and a seamless way to interact with all of these smart devices.
So if they have like a Google Home or an Echo themselves or Alexa, they would use this instead.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay. As far as the properties, what's your client size and influence right now look like in KC? How long have you guys been around?
Yeah, so we've been around for about 4.5 years. I've been with the company for 2 months less than that. So I came on right early on. We're about 20, 25 employees now, but projected to about double in the next year. But we are, oh God, what's the count for buildings in Kansas City? I think we're probably around 1,000, 1,500, maybe even 2,000 units in Kansas City alone. We're national now, so we're in quite a few number of cities. I don't have the exact numbers on that, but we're in properties ranging from 25 to I think 230 is our largest one. Like 909 Walnut, Flash Cube is a new building under construction that just opened up down here in downtown. So we're operating on mega buildings, able to operate smoothly for those properties. So we know we can do it on the small scale, and we know we can do it on the large scale.
Sounds good. It gives people an idea, how it's being used in KC currently, and looks like.
And I do want to say, I do want to say, bear in mind that I did say we operate with 50 plus units. That's on our full service aspect. So we also do a DIY type solution for property owners who have smaller properties. So our system isn't out of reach for those. It's just you're probably not going to be willing to pay us to come out and install your properties if you're not doing a larger property. But
Sure.
We do have a package system where you can order your locks and installation setup process through Homebase to get those up and running. So we even have like a vacation rental type structure. So all the way down to a single unit you can do that for.
Okay, sounds good. So let's get into some of the benefits here, just get a little bit more detail. As far as the revenue generation, are you talking about, I remember you talking about something about charging for internet sharing, obviously the increase in rent. What other benefits are they looking at as far as the revenue side?
Yeah, so on average, the property that has community Wi-Fi, they'll partner with a large internet service provider and buy bulk internet, but that provider still has to come in and activate that internet for that resident. So they're out of internet for a few days, up to a week, depending on when they can get to that person. On top of that, they also offer a much lower package deal for the property owners. So you're making a lot less money off of working with a single provider. So through our system, we partner with internet brokers, and we will literally pipe in the internet into your property, and then through our system, create a mesh network. So on average, it's about $20 per unit cost for the Wi-Fi and our software. You're able to charge upwards of 50 plus. So you could do premium internet, 300, 500 meg internet as like a elite tier package, and those residents could be paying $70 some for that package. So on average, we recommend you go in at the right at or lower than the cheapest internet service provider on the market for tier packages, and you're still going to be making more than likely about $30 on your internet package. if you have everyone on the base package, but more than likely you'll have residents that upgrade, so that number probably will go up. But on top of that, you also have, like you said, the rent premium. We usually factor in like very minimal, like a $15 rent increase. You can probably get more if you advertise a smart apartment amenity well enough. But then also the efficiencies of property management. So we do mobile touring through our system. So a property manager doesn't necessarily need to be on site to interact with tours and unlock doors. So residents get invited to our app. They can download it and immediately have access if they're invited by the property manager through their mobile device, and they can unlock the door for the demo unit or any unit that they're wanting to look for. So that's, in the COVID era, been a great selling proposition for us, which we've actually done really well because of the COVID era, and a lot of properties really accelerating towards the smart access control systems for these capabilities. So, and on top of that, your maintenance staff, they also have mobile access to the doors. So when they unlock the door, a resident knows that the maintenance worker has opened, they notified. So it's like a peace of mind as well, but it's also a more efficient way of maintenance crews to enter and exit your buildings. So we also factor in like a time saving of $10 per unit on that as well. So those numbers are pretty conservative, but on average, it's about $75 in revenue from our system, and it costs around $20. About $17 is what our base package is for Wi-Fi if you're not doing a financing model. But we also have a 0% down financing option that can go up to 5 years financing. So even with that option, on average, you're still making probably $15 to $20 a month after doing that financing. So you're still making profit off of a zero cost item. So, and if you're doing a syndication deal for that matter, it's after 5 years, you're in most cases looking to sell. And at that point, your financing has come off and you're now making $50 plus a unit, which is a substantial value add when you're looking to sell to bump the valuation of your property. So it's a pretty no-brainer type situation where you have a much better resident experience, you're making higher revenues, and you're operating at a much more efficient manner for everybody. And on top of that, with smart thermostats, you're also adding life to your appliances. So all across the board, you're saving on efficiencies and add revenues.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a win-win-win situation.
Definitely a lot of avenues to explore there. Since I always ask, it seems like it may not fit everybody in the world. Who may not this before, and aside from maybe the size of the property, is there a certain client that they shouldn't necessarily look at this option, but some other option, or maybe wait till they get bigger? What do you say?
Yeah, so we honestly have clients that are in senior living. We have clients that are looking at us for Section 8. And a lot of that is we have a wide range of benefits that each of these groups really focus on. So the access control piece, where you have a fob for your unit, that is a huge benefit for senior living, and the ease of use to where the kids even of those seniors can be tagged in onto the stay for that resident and keep track of them. But then even on the Section 8, there's stipends and grants for connectivity and things like that for those communities. And we currently have a development project where we're going to be integrating Leviton smart switchboards. So energy tracking switchboard. So it's a green initiative for them. They're also doing Section 8, and that's part of that grant. And so there's a wide range of benefits that not just the millennial market is interested in these. There's aspects of our system that appeal to all ends of the market.
If you can get senior citizens to use technology, that's a bonus already.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. And one thing that makes this possible too is I'm sure the financing, because if you could go to low to no money down, your ROI might not be as high initially, but at the same time, you have to put several thousands of dollars into a system, and if you could net, uh, positive at each month, sometimes there isn't necessarily a reason not to go with it. So I'm sure that definitely helps out. And as technology stuff with similar things to like solar, as long as that gets more efficient and cheaper, obviously gets more eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, definitely a lot of benefits there. Go ahead and remind people the website real quick too.
Yeah, so our website is homebase.ai. So not .com, but homebase.ai. So you can visit us there, look at all of our products, and chat with us there. So we have people online at 24/7. So
yeah, and I just want to mention that because there's a lot of technology. It seems, and just to confirm, you could piece together a system, right? It does it have to be all or one, or can you piece it out?
yeah. So we start with the base lock package. So that's kind of the given package for our company is where you start is you start out with locks, then you can upgrade to thermostats if you decide to. But we usually recommend if you're going with thermostats, look at Wi-Fi because that's going to be your biggest cost savings and revenue generation opportunity, especially with our 0% down. So if you're wanting to do those packages, you're going to be ending up spending more money if you don't do the Wi-Fi. So, but yeah, you can piecemeal products together, and our system can work.
Sounds good. Let's also, before we wrap it up here, chat about your guys' podcast. I believe it's called Future of Living. Is that correct?
Yep, we have a Future of Living podcast where our CEO, Blake Miller, interviews leaders across the industry in real estate, ranging from individual investors who are trying to grow their portfolio all the way up to other executives on their smart products, how different people are impacting neighborhoods in different ways. So we're trying to build a podcast where we can really define what we think the future of living is going to be.
Yeah, that definitely sounds interesting. There's a lot of real estate podcasts out there, but one that specifically concentrates on technology is always interesting. I use all the smart home stuff myself with the lights, the security, cameras, and I'm glad I lived in during this time because I don't know how I dealt with it before. And especially when you have like kids and everything like that, it just makes life a lot more efficient. So it's going to be really cool to see. Also a little bit saddening because I won't be able to maybe take advantage of this stuff a couple 100 years from now. But yeah, that's always good. There's always progression there. For sure.
Well, and it's the best thing about that is, so when you buy a system like this, it's not just buying the system as is right now and you're going to have it that way for the rest of time. It's almost like you're buying a Tesla and you get a new software upgrade. Every time Homebase comes out with a new upgrade, your residents get a new amenity, and that's included in the package. So you're setting yourself up to upgrade your building to be future-proof, and that's a pretty good value prop there.
Yeah, for sure. That's always nice on the software side. Always getting the bonuses there. Lastly, Pitch nominated you guys for Startup of the Year. Is that correct?
Yep. So best startup in Kansas City. If you want to vote for us, go to the Pitch for their Best of Kansas City competition. So I think we're one of 4 in our category that have made it this far. So if you want to vote for us, we really appreciate it.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and remind people once again the contact number. I don't know if they're contacting you. Probably, I'm sure the customer service team, homebase.ai, right? Any information if they won't even contact you directly, if you're willing to give that out. Go ahead. Let's wrap up with that.
Yeah. So we don't have necessarily a direct line. We prefer to direct people to the website, and you can contact us through there. There's multiple places where you can request a demo or just talk to us about the product. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, you can reach me at Justin, Justin, at homebase.ai. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, meet you for coffee, or talk about what you're looking for and how you integrate smart devices into your property.
Sounds good. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate your time. Thanks everybody for watching. Of course, check out MAREI.org if you want to check out the membership or want to become a partner with the MAREI group. There's over 10,000 people in the Facebook group, and it's the largest in KC. So thanks again for joining us. It's good to see you integrate in the real estate community, helping on the tech side, and helping or giving a good name for companies out in KC. So you appreciate it, and I will see you around hopefully soon.
Yep. Thank you, John.
All right, man. Thanks. Later.
Have a good one.
Bye.